This is a 2018 Thor A.C.E 30.2 motorhome. And up here is a lighting strip that most RVs have under the awning. And on our last trip, mine completely died. It had been slowly burning out of lights over here, and then it just had like a foot left, and it's since gone out. Multiple reasons we're going to show you, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to climb right up there, and I'm just going to take it apart. And then we'll go inside and we'll figure out the wiring. How hard could it be? All right, not all motorhomes are made the same. Not all RVs, travel trailers. But on this Thor, this little plastic piece right here hides our electrical wiring. And once you get all the goo off of it, it is a very unique plug. And I have not been able to find this plug in an existing one. Maybe if you went to Rec Pro or you went to somewhere else. So obviously it looks like it's fairly easy to retrofit. And this wiring is going to be interesting, but I'm going to have to get into it. Worry about that here in a second, but let's just go ahead and slide this off. Now what you can see here is this is actually attached to a track. And I've been looking for this track. It's not necessarily either some similar track out there. Obviously you see it's browned, discolored where it's not under. I was afraid it would be discolored here too, but it's not, so that's good. I saw some on eBay and some similar stuff, but it's not exactly the same. And it's $10 per 4-foot sections. So I would need at least $40 of this stuff. So 3M, maybe this has potentially been replaced before, but all right. Oh, so far it's off. There's one more piece down there. I will slide it off. And then we will lay the new lighting, put it up here, and figure out the wiring last. I've got it laid out here across the floor, and I'm going to put it in here. But let me show you what I've got. So I got two different kits. One is the one that's more standard that you would buy for this RV. Obviously, you want both of them waterproof, or any RV you'd want waterproof. Both of these are waterproof. This one, I'm not sure where the box is. I'll put a link to this one and the other one in the description, or a very similar one because this one's not available anymore. They're both, many of these are all about 20 bucks. If you spend a little more, there's a different type of light strip that's more like an LED, but it does not come with a transformer, and I think it would need a transformer. But these don't need a transformer. I don't even think there's a transformer already in line. This is what they call an underbelly or an undermount lighting for an RV. I thought I would use this one, but this one is blue. So I don't want blue under the awning. I want light. I want either multicolor or I want white so that we can actually use light underneath the RV awning. So this one just comes with two wires, two very simple wires. These mounts are, I think, to mount underneath an RV, so it's got some pretty interesting mounts. I don't remember it coming with anything else. I've already tested it to 12 volts and it lights up blue, but again, I don't want blue. The other one I bought was this one here. And this is a bigger kit. I think it's a 50-foot kit. It's got two 25-foot or two 20-foot sections. Kimberly, but again, this isn't even a brand that Amazon has anymore. Waterproof, smart RGB. The problem is, as you saw, the plug on the outside of the RV, that this plug right here is only a 2-prong plug. So you could cut that very easily and then splice in one of these. Very simple, very easy, and you would be off to the races. I don't want to wait 3 or 4 days to order another one of those in white, so I'm going to use these multicolor ones. And this multicolor one comes with a remote, so you can change colors and do all kinds of cool stuff with. It comes with a little kit to help waterproof if you're going to make a connection outside, which I'm going to have to. Has this there's a little plastic cover and then tape. And then it's got some other mounting hardware, some directions, and then it's got 2 spools of this. And it also has this transformer, and this transformer is powered. It's got this little power converter. I've already cut it to test it. So this is how we're going to connect into the RV 12-volt power. So the other thing that's extremely important is it has to be 12 volts. So if it's 120 volts or it's not 12 volts, because it's a 12-volt system, it's not going to work. So you have to have 12 volts. Or you could potentially, there's an outlet over there. You could run 110 volts, but it's only going to run when you're plugged into power or running off a generator, something like that. I want this to run when we want it on. Well, it looks like there's a track that it slid in nicely that's curved. Obviously, it hasn't fit in the entire thing, but you can also pull it out. You got to be careful because this stuff is kind of brittle. So getting back in here is going to be interesting. But I don't think they pulled the tape off because the sticky backing is still there. So they never pulled the sticky backing in, they just slid it right in, which is what I'm going to try to do. Here's the end here. I'm going to get a little screwdriver, and I'm just going to pick this stuff out of here until this is empty. All right, well, it came out pretty easy. Little dirt and debris right here. And I just cut it down there where it was kinking, and it slid right out after that. So not too difficult. This line, or this right here, there's a little line, and these 4 little copper connections, you can cut it. So I went ahead and just went down and roughly measured it, and I cut it. And now I'm going to try to slide it in without the backing, or with the backing still on it. And we'll see how easy that goes. I'll record it this time in case there are problems. Yeah, this doesn't just slide. So let me start with the far one. The good news is it's got a nice snug fit, so yeah, almost too snug, so my little tiny screwdriver here. Well, I'm just going to go along. I don't need to record this now that I've got it. I'm just pushing it into the groove of the channel. I'll see if I can show you the channel. It's just, it's open here, shaped like a C, a very thin crescent. Looking good so far. I'll tell you, if you are prone to carpal tunnel, that is not a task. But it didn't take me very long. Just found out 2 things. First, it's brittle. Well, one problem, this has a rubberized coating. Once you slide it into that channel, if you need to move it or pull it back, it literally just ripped. So I had to cut a little section off. So it's not going to go all the way to the end, but it kind of hangs off anyway. So not a big deal at the end. But I wanted to test it to make sure squeezing it in there, because this rubber coating makes it just sticks. So I just want to make sure squeezing in there didn't cause it to burn up or mess up one of the lights. So I just got running off of one of my 12-volt drill batteries for my Walmart Hyper Tough. So I'm gonna go put it up, and then we'll figure out this wiring together. Got a game plan. Let me tell you what it is. So the end of that wire, the end of that light, I sacrificed, or I cut the end off, not sacrificing it. So I cut this end off, and I'm going to sacrifice this one here. So this one will be, you can, unless I'm going to run more in here, whatever. So this is basically a waste anyway. So I'm going to cut this end off. So I'll have 2 ends, and then clearly I need wire between here and here. And if you haven't seen this, I just sacrificed that one. So the power cord is already gone, and I'm going to cut this one off. And my wires are up here. So in this Thor, this cover kind of covers this up. And this is the wire right here for the original one. But what I've done is taped this piece of that power cord to these wires. And hopefully, maybe I'll tape another one just in case, they go between here and then out the side of the RV. I've peeled back a little bit of the silicone outside, and I am going to pull this wire until this one, so from the other side I'm going to pull this wire until this one is visible, and then I'll have So it's going to be black and red and black and red. So I'll have to, but it's good that one is in sheathing and one is not. So I'll be able to pick my colors. Obviously one of those will be black and red, and then the other two black and red will be blue and green. So here's our light strip with the plastic trim. It wasn't that hard to get it up here, but my wife did have to come help me. So she held up two of the ends as high as possible because I did not want to rip it. Hey, buddy. I did not want to rip this. So here is this wire, and it seems to be pulling pretty nicely. Don't rip the end off. Don't rip the end off. Come on. Come on, it's just... So there it is. I think it's right there. So make sure I'm not pulling too much out of the other end, and then I will finish pulling that out. Well, we're ready to hit the button and test this thing. So here's the, I don't know if you can see here, these lever lock fake Wagos. I'm kind of a fan of those, especially on 12 volt. Haven't trusted them yet on 110, but when I installed these chargers here, USB thing, I used them. But this kit I have now have red and black. So what I did was the OG wire, the red, or so the black goes to blue, so B and B, black and blue, and then red and green. And then the new wire that's shielded is red and black. Just red and black, red and black. And then here on this side, for this one, red and black, goes to the ones that were red and black again. So the only other thing I have to do up here, this is the IR sensor for the remote control. I'm going to drill a little hole here because this is obviously going to be covered up again. So when I put this in here, I'm just going to run that sensor just down here. Just going to hang down just ever so much so that you can actually have maybe some good IR connectivity. So I've got a drill bit. I'm not going to show you that. That's what I'm going to do. I have not connected this yet because, you know, if I short out something, I want to have access to this 2 amp fuse. So it's this switch here. Let's see if we got powers. Look at that. Why is it? Yep. Hard to tell, but it looks like a section where the two pieces meet. I may have damaged it some way. That's unfortunate. So they're working. Let me run through some colors here. I'll test this out, and obviously we'll come back at night and see how it looks. My crude wiring up here, obviously this isn't waterproofed. I have liquid electrical tape that I may or may not use, or I may just tape this up and then push this back in here as far as I can and glob that back together with the silicone that I'm going to put there. So, because it'll be behind this thing here, this plastic piece that was here. So that's what I did. Pretty simple. Let me glue these up and get them waterproofed. So how does it look? I obviously haven't come out yet to show you what you probably just saw of the lights at night, but I think it'll be fine. I don't want to open it up any cans of worms or nothing, so I'm just going to leave it how it is. It's way better than it was before. I've had those lights for almost 2 years, so they're up. They look good. That switch is back together. Panel's back on. I covered that thing in silicone. I don't know if you can even see it, but up here right next to the end of this valance is the IR switch or sensor. So that's popping out good, because when I was hitting the button out here, I had to slide it out so it was visible. You do need access to that. So you're not going to be able to just, maybe through the window, it's going to be hard, but yeah, you can't just sit outside and hit the switch, hit the button. Yeah, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully this taught you how to install a unique set of 12 volt LEDs onto an RV without having to buy any of the special other pieces or the special lights. And again, if I just had white, if I just wanted to go with white and I had white instead of the other ones that I have that are blue, it would have been much easier. Take the strip down, put that thing in, and then just 2 wires. Wouldn't even have barely had to mess with the wires out in here. Wouldn't even have to touch it in here, just out there, and it would have been good. So if you want to do that, that's the the easy trick, and I'll put a link to those white ones in the description, and I'll put a link to very similar ones to the ones I have. Again, they're both about 20 bucks, so they're fairly inexpensive for both. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch you on the next one.